Hello. Hi, Kalpana. Hi, everyone. So, thank you for joining this conversation. It's a little earlier than Alap's usual conversations, but we're going to be speaking with four artists who are based in Singapore, which is why, and I suppose it's already 9:30 p.m. in Singapore. We are speaking with four artists, and I will introduce them as we go by. But the reason we're speaking with them is these artists are part of a production called the Universal Balance, which is a production by the productions wing of SIFAS, which is the Singapore Fine Arts Society. And Singapore Fine Arts Society's productions wing returns after a hiatus and is sort of premiering this in Chennai at the Bharata Kalakshetra on September 13th. To mark two very important milestones, which is Singapore's 60th year of independence and the 60th anniversary of Singapore-India diplomatic relations. This production is, the Universal Balance is really an artistic tribute to the eternal dualities that shape our world, which is creation and dissolution, devotion and detachment, sound and silence. And is brought to life through the symbolic union of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva in the divine form of Hara. So without much ado, I'm going to accept the invitation from SIFAS Production and tell us more about what's in store. So I highly urge people in Chennai to book your tickets and to be part of this production. Namaste, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here.
It's our pleasure.
Lovely. It's lovely to speak actually with a group. Originally, our plan was to speak with each of you individually. Please don't worry. Let it be a very informal sort of discussion. So as and when I ask you, each of you a specific question, you can probably just step a little forward or you can just speak from where you are. I'll be able to hear you. So thank you very much. So this evening, I'm going to dive straight in actually to the content itself. So from what I've understood, the evening consists of two segments, which is really Narayanam, which is curated by Jyothishmathi Sheejith, music curator. And it also includes a segment on dance, which is called the Tillai, the golden abode of Shiva, which brings to life the rich philosophical and mystical dimensions of Lord Shiva through the medium of Bharatanatyam. So I just thought I could start off with Jyothishmathi really. Jyothishmathi, if you can, tell us in the context of Chennai, Jyothishmathi, you don't need any introduction. So I'm going to skip that introduction and I'm going to go straight in. And I'm going to really ask you a little bit about the genesis of this production itself. This idea of Hara, and if you can tell me from the perspective of how this production was born in the context of the music.
As I said, we are doing on Hari. So I tried to choose compositions from Trinity and different composers and their view on Vishnu, on Hari, on Krishna.
Yeah.
So how it has traveled. I've taken something from Swami Dekshita and Tyagaraja, and from there, inspired by them, Chamarajendra Odayar, a Mysore king, who was much, he got inspired by Dekshita, and his Kirtis have so much of essence from Dekshita band. So it's lovely. He lived in, very recently. Was Mysore Vasudevacharya. He came Pattal Subramanian and Iyer and that family, that lineage. And he was also a great Vidwan of Sanskrit, Telugu and Kannada. And who also lived in Kalakshetra. And he has also composed first two or three Ramayana series for Kalakshetra. Right. So I have tried to take all these composers and pieces composed by them and try to do a garland of Kritis and Avarnam Kriti and Tilana. Largely Tilana we are doing, the Tilana. It's like combination of the ancient and the contemporary musicians. So all
Right.
exploring the beauty of Hari, the lyrical beauty, the musical beauty, and their view. They
Right. Sorry. What?
have
Okay. Sorry. I just didn't understand the last bit that you said. You said lyrical beauty, musical beauty, and then what did you say?
like how they are influenced by each other, how they kind of try to not imitate but to get influenced by lyrically, musically, how it has traveled the time.
Right. I have been a bit curious about, the in this context, in this production, they call you the music curator, right? I'm curious and keen to understand, Jyothishmathi, really for you. I mean, you've composed music and you've done, like, you've been associated with music. You also have a very keen understanding of dance, right? So I want to understand that when you say music curator, um, I'm just curious to understand that how different is it from um, choreographing dance? Would the word curation be similar to the word choreography in the context of dance?
Well, I would say in dance we have to start from scratch, from collecting the lyrics and choosing the theme, everything. Here, everything
Right,
is there in the platter. Only thing is
right,
you need to join them and according to the ideas and choose the ragas who would go well with that. So, in a of course, given time, what all we can do with the present already available pieces.
right,
So the
right,
curator, yes, I have tried to add couple of things before Kriti. Then I've done a small rhythmical thing just to take that. So the Hare Nara Hare, Sri Nara Hare. So play something, compose something before that, and then the Kriti starts. So Kriti is already there. So what
yeah,
you can do is to add little bit of enhancement, little as of
right,
Kriti itself they are very beautiful. I don't want to touch them. They're lyrically
right,
and musically they are gems. So what we
right,
can add a bit before, add a bit later, in between, something like that. So that is
right,
what I
right,
have done for this particular production. Like, I haven't
right.
done anything, I haven't touched the lyrics or anything. It's already been there.
Right, right. So what I understand from you basically is that in the context of music, there are these gems already exist, and what your role is really to weave them together and add embellishments and sort of make sure that they flow seamlessly from one to another. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That's fantastic. I want to shift a little bit to the dance choreographer, Shri PK Geethanadhan, who's also an alumnus of the Kalakshetra. So, firstly, I just want to ask you, what is it like for you to premiere this work in your alma mater?
Um, it's give a lot of joy and happiness to bring my production to Kalakshetra because I studied there in 6 years under different teachers, and now I worked here for past 10 years. I'm teaching here in SIFAS. So bringing our students, SIFAS student to Kalakshetra, it's a great achievement, and then our teachers also will be present there, and I'm a bit nervous also to present in front of my teachers. But basically, I'm very proud and to show our production to in front of our great teachers and friends and well-wishers from Chennai.
Right. Uh, Geethanandanji, tell me a little bit about, so the thing is, from a subject perspective, right? This is, of course, the production, from what I understand, is centers around Lord Nataraja, who's the cosmic dancer, and it explores this whole idea of the sacred interplay, as they say, of sound, space, and silence through storytelling.
Yes.
Now, I also want to be a bit of a devil's advocate and ask you that this is a theme that has often been explored in the context of dance. It is not a new theme. So tell me a little bit about what is it that you have sort of, brought to the choreography that will set it apart from other works.
For me, as a person, my favorite deity is Vishnu.
Sorry, Geethanadhan ji, could you move in a little bit front, please? Yeah,
So,
that would be great.
personally, my favorite deity is Vishnu, and my profession as a dancer. So I have a lot of bhakti towards Lord Nataraja. Chidambaram temple, people usually associate with Lord Nataraja, but it's one of the Divya Desham also. So Vishnu is also there. In our production, not only Nataraja, the three major deities in the temple, it's Parvati and Lord Shiva and Vishnu also celebrated in our item. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Before I did this as a solo performance, this lay production already done as a solo performance. Now
Okay. You
the
imagined it as a...
collaborated, the choreographer we have 5 students joined together and they're doing together. So I had more scope for Sanjaris and all. I have different students taking different parts. Like there is a Kanapara Sanjari, there is a Markandeya story. So different story also coming with Shiva related story. Basically, the choreography made in a way it's needed a lot of stamina for students, and it has a lot of nritta elements, lines, formations. It included vigorous dancing, altogether vigorous dancing needed for this item. That's
right.
how we.
Right. Tell me a little bit about how, as a dancer, dance choreographer, dance teacher, and also as somebody who's creating these, ensemble works, how do you really stay in touch with, the work that's happening in India, for example, right? So much going on in terms of, I'm just curious, how do you really what is the kind of exchange and learning that's constantly happening for you as a dancer and a dance teacher between work that's happening in India and work that's happening in Singapore?
So here in Singapore, past 10 years I'm teaching here in Singapore. Students, I feel here students, my experience with the students is here students are very smart. They will take everything very fast. They'll learn very fast. But the only thing is expressive. They are. I feel in India we all are very. I feel we are all are very expressive. While talking also we are very expressive. Here they are a little more
Reserve.
reserved. But when we need to aid them in a way that need to tell the stories, everything, then slowly they know. In that case, here now it's YouTube and all, they all watch all the performance, what is happening, not only in India, whatever is happening in the world, they're watching, and they're also, whatever happening in India also, they are watching. So I don't see much difference here also. Dance field is very strong here in Singapore, and frequently great artists come travel from India.
From India.
And whoever our senior students and all, they all watch all the great artists in India also. They also perform in Singapore. Yeah.
Right. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing some insights about the work. We really look forward to it. I mean, since Nagalakshmi is right next to you, I thought I can request her to step forward. Nagalakshmi, a dancer who's learned dance at SIFAS. And who's amongst the lead dancers for this work. So welcome to this conversation, Nagalakshmi. Looking forward to watching the work on Saturday. I just want to ask you a little bit about, from a choreographic point of view, what was your experience of being part of this production? Right. And just what I want to understand is really you're a solo dancer. So what was it like for you to share space in an ensemble production?
So basically, this is my first time performing with this group. So, but we knew each other earlier, but this is the first time we're performing together. And
Nice.
these items are like very, like stamina wise, we need a lot of stamina and it's very vigorous. So we had to work a lot together and we had to work hard, like coordination and everything. We had to like make sure that everything is right. We are still working on it. We hope that we'll give our best for the performance. So like going as a group representing SIFAS and Kalakshetra is a very big thing for us. We are really grateful for this opportunity and as this, we are as like well, since we are going as a group, we all are like putting in effort together, and we travel this entire journey together.
That's lovely, Nagalakshmi. Tell me some of the, for you as a dancer, what are some of the highlights of this work?
Highlights in the sense, items wise, it's there's both Hari and Hara included in the items, as what Sir said, and there's also stillness and vigorous movements throughout the production. So we have come across both, and the Sancharis in the Varnam are also a big highlight, which is very attractive to the audience. And
Right.
and we are also like all the items need stamina, and Sir has challenged us with the stamina. So so those are the highlights.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much for. When are you come? When are you going to be in Chennai? And are you excited to be dancing in a really, really beautiful auditorium?
Yeah, we're actually really excited, and like that to dance in Kalakshetra is a very big thing. So we
Absolutely.
all are looking forward to it.
That's great. I do hope that a lot of young dancers come and support the work. I'm really hoping that they're going to be there in large numbers. I'm just going to ask you to shift the camera to Sri Sai Vigneshwar, please. If you can just move the camera. Hello, namaste, hi. So, Sai, you're going to be you're the you're leading on the vocals. Am I right?
I mean, usually in our Carnatic ensembles, yeah, usually the vocal is the lead, but Jyothishmathi teacher had said, this time we are all at the same level. There is no lead, there is no accompaniment. We are journeying together just like the fellow dancers.
Dance.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's great. So can we say that this is truly a work which is collaborative in every sense of the word?
100%. Basically, when we came together, Jyothishmathi teacher had like the complete, or rather, she saw us and she developed the picture along with us. She had like, I think the theme was set, the songs had been mostly chosen, and then working together with us, teacher had to like make sure we gel together and similar to like for the dancers, it's like learning a new choreography. If our sangatis have to be the same, we are used to doing solo stuff, or like
That's
when
what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a totally different game. So it was.
Yeah. No, I was going to, because I was reading your resume and you are an artist in your own right, performing across venues and stuff. So I was really going to ask you that see, we hear a lot about dance productions, but there aren't enough productions in the context of music, right? So what is it like for you to really, actually be part of a musical work? Which is also in some sense, as a solo artist, you can really you can really there's scope for improv, but when it's a production, it is all choreographed. So what is it like when you shift avatar like that?
I would say that when you are doing solo, you're only serving you're your first listener, right? You serve your ear, right? But when we are doing together, we're serving the music. Right? The teacher has a vision and she's kind of guided us to it. And she's given us freedom. Sometimes when all of us naturally tend to do a different something, the teacher will be like, okay, do that. So there is sort of organicness to it, but it's definitely like we come together, we have to hit these goalposts, and we just have to remind each other along the way. Because we are working together, it's like if it's Bharatanatyam, music accompanies the dancer, but if it's ensemble, not like a typical Carnatic ensemble, then we are all taking the cue from each other. It's not so much like I said the rule. We have to remind each other, we know our blind spots, so it's really, really a collaboration. It's totally different, and it kind of humbles you, you're way. Okay, I'm part of
No.
it, in a sense.
Fantastic. I'm just curious to know, what is your relationship with Chennai? Are you born and raised in Singapore? And
So I was born in Chennai, but my father came to Singapore for work, so that's been a very long time. But December season has always been something special for us. And I mean, you were talking about how there has been a long gap for SIFAS from the
that's right.
Chennai season and everything. Luckily, I was privileged to be part of the group that was there previously as well. You know, going to like singing at the Mini Hall Music Academy or like different fine art institutions. So
Right.
that relationship with Chennai is always something like. Sometimes we come there, we listen to some artists, and we are like, why do we learn music when there are these guys around? So it's definitely learning, it's definitely exposure, and it's also like a very greenhouse effect. So we look forward to it, we are intimidated by it, but we also take a lot of energy from it.
Right, right. I just want to ask Jyothishmathi one question before we wrap this conversation. If you, yeah, Jyothishmathi, I'm really curious to understand that, because this work has two segments, music and dance, and in many ways it's Hara, and I feel like the work, the dance draws upon the music draws upon the dance. I'm curious to understand that how much of the dance did you observe while you were creating the musical production or curating the musical production? And I also want to ask, Geethanadhan, what was his exposure to the music, so that in a way that you both drew inspiration from each other for your respective segments?
So I'll be singing for the live. So we are going to have live orchestra. So
Right.
I'll be singing for the production.
Oh, okay, okay.
And yes, lot to learn from dance. Like when it comes to in music, I can't visualize the expressions, the sangatis or the bhavam cannot be visualized. But singing for dance has taught me that, to how to feel
Right.
sangatis more. The bhavam has come out well, and I'm able to, when I'm singing for dance, the padam is being done, and when the abhinaya is happening there, naturally I will react to that.
Yeah.
That thing has traveled to my kritis also. In my
Okay.
also, understand the lyrics, know the meaning, no matter whatever language it is, first
Right.
understand. So absorb the lyrical beauty, the poetic beauty, and then add music to it and the lion. So everything aligning, then the magic happens.
Fantastic. That's great.
Being in Kalakshetra and being part of the dance dramas, and I've sung for almost all the dance dramas in Kalakshetra. So that has helped a lot
Yeah, for sure.
in my musical journey.
That's great. That's great, Jyothishmathi. Geethanadhan, would you like to add something?
For me, I yet to watch the music part, because our rehearsal usually happens at the same time. So
That's right.
most of them are working in the evening, only students will come. So I
Right.
get to watch the performance.
Right.
Anyway, Akka is singing for us, and so her suggestions also, it's very important for us. She already gave some suggestion, can go this way, can try this, like that. Always musicians, since it's a live performance, we have a lot of scope to extend some journeys.
Right.
So, as the experienced person, Akka is there with us. It's a great honor, and we are really happy for that.
That's great. I just want to take a moment to wish the production the very best. And I want to wish SIFAS' productions being also the very best for bringing this really very interesting concept to Chennai. Like I said before, I really do hope that a whole host of Chennaiites show up and support this work. For those who have not got their tickets yet, tickets are available on the SIFAS, VR SIFAS handle, as well as the SIFAS Productions page, and on ALA. This is premiering on September 13th at 6 p.m. So wishing the team the very best and looking forward to meeting you all in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.